How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I want to talk to you today about Cardano and why I think it's going to boom moving forward. Now, yesterday I did a little bit of an update on Cardano, talked about what is to come with Cardano and some big news that came from Twitter from someone that works with Cardano and is the head of a department there. So I want to talk about that here today, talk to you about what's coming next and why we are price bound right now, but why I think Cardano has a very bright future. Now, if you guys don't mind hitting the like button, I do appreciate that. Please hit subscribe too so you can get more videos like this. If you guys want, you can check out the Patreon link underneath the video. We actually are just doing a 100 Cardano giveaway right now, but I was in Cardano when it was around $1 and $1.50 buying a lot in that range. So if you guys want information like that with us up, a significant amount, like 100% from that, you can join the Patreon down below. There I tell everyone what I am buying and selling in real time. So let's look at Cardano now. We're sitting at $2.43. Now this is not what a lot of people were expecting, I'd say. After smart contracts were released, we did see some explosion up into smart contracts of $2.72, and then we had a little bit of a selling of the event. Now, we have seen $3.09. I'll talk about why I think we're not seeing all-time highs right now. But let's take a look at some of the big news for Cardano. So Sydney Vollmer is the head of brand and comms at the Cardano Foundation, said 2 days ago, don't really want to brag or anything, but some of the partnerships we're announcing at the Cardano Summit will blow people's minds. They're grateful for the change they get to bring to the world. So this is September 25 and 26. I did a video on this just yesterday, and I'll put that video up here above the video. And I talked about what this could mean because this is a big event for Cardano, and they have released some big partnerships in the past. Let's look at one of them here, and this is actually going back to something that Charles Hoskinson said back in 2014, and I'll actually play the clip for you here, and then we can talk about the big partnership that he actually unveiled that is very similar to this.
If one could build a proper web of trust where a person's identity can be put onto a blockchain along with revocation rights, then very quickly you can start building a web of reputation. So every time you do business with somebody, you build a reputation ledger. And there's examples of this in like Switzerland, for example. They have credit ledger. You do business with people. It's been around for 750 years. And then you also can build a web of credential. So what if when you get a college degree, instead of a college giving you a diploma, they have a signing key and they simply just sign your identity. Mm-hmm. And then this can be done for MOOCs, massive open online courses like Coursera, Udacity, edX, the Saylor Institute, these kinds of things. So when you take something, you get it signed, and all of a sudden now we have modular college degrees that are continuously evolving. They're living in the cloud, and they're all free. They're accessible to the entire world.
So that's really cool. That is something that he talked about 7 years ago, and this is a big partnership that they actually unveiled this year. So they talked about how they were working with Ethiopia to help 3,500 schools, 5 million students, and 750,000 teachers, giving all pupils verifiable digital qualifications and increasing social mobility. So they talked about how they have a real difficulty with counterfeiting of degrees and diplomas and job applications. So they are creating this way for people to verify their records on the blockchain. So what is to come? What are they going to unveil? We don't know at this point. We have about 10 days to wait, but we can see the Cardano ecosystem is growing. And I think there are two real focuses that we have to look at right now, which is NFTs and gaming. Those are, I think, two of the areas in cryptocurrency that are getting the most traction. There is a lot of demand for it. I mean, think about Axie Infinity, where people are literally making a living using this game. And then you can look at NFTs. OpenSea having $2 billion in volume in 1 month, and they're getting insane amounts of fees and all that kind of stuff. And honestly, long term, it makes so much more sense for this to be built on Cardano, which we'll talk about here in a second. But there was a recent report, the smart contract platforms Cardano and Avalanche have both surged in terms of their number of GitHub commits. GitHub commits serve as a barometer of community and developer activity as it refers to the amendments or additions made to the project's source code. Cardano has had an increase of 24% year over year, 701 CPM commits per month. So that is awesome to see more people coming to the Cardano ecosystem and building on it. But like I said, two key areas to pay attention to: trading cards on Cardano, NFTs on Cardano. We've seen so many NFTs this year, and we've seen for example, the card industry get insane this year. I think about it this way. On Ethereum, there are literally $100 gas fees, multi-$100 gas fees. If you're someone that makes the average annual income, even in the United States, $31,000, right? That's a median income. If you're someone that makes $30,000, $35,000, $40,000, you are not going to buy NFTs on Ethereum. It doesn't make sense. Unless you buy it once just as a fun thing to do, you're not going to do this regularly. Compare that to something like Cardano, where you could have a 1 cent, 2 cent, 5 cent fee. That actually makes sense for NFTs that cost a couple dollars. I mean, think about how much volume trading card NFTs could have on Cardano. It's actually accessible. Let's say you trade 2 NFTs a month and it costs $150. That's $300 a month. That's $3,600 a year. That's 1/10 of your annual income. Compare that to a couple cents a month. That isn't even going to be a dollar, right? That's not going to be a dollar throughout the year. So that could be huge for Cardano. Some NFT platforms you can take a look at. I am not sponsored by these or anything, but these are really the ones to look at. CNFT.io. These are Cardano NFTs, and then Artano.io. And then if you want to do some research on it, you can go to cnftanalytics.io. Just something cool to take a look at if you're interested in that, but don't want to spend too much time on that. And then the other thing we have to talk about is mobile gaming. Like I said, some mobile gaming has just been going insane this year, with the likes of Axie Infinity literally giving people livable wages in some countries, playing a game, earning rewards in crypto. Let's take a look at this video from Charles Hoskinson on whether Cardano would be able to support these different NFTs and mobile gaming right when the smart contracts came to the ecosystem. So this is from about a year ago, but we can take a look at it now and it gives us some good insights.
Do you think gaming in Cardano will be viable as soon as Goguen ships? So that's a very interesting question, and it absolutely depends on what you mean by gaming, Gianfranco Diaz. So if you mean by gaming gambling, I mean, that's always possible. If you mean by gaming like video games and integrating video games into Cardano, like CryptoKitties, I think both of them have their merits and value to the ecosystem. And actually, what gets me most excited is the latter. I would love to see super creative video games on Cardano. As many of you know, I actually have my own game studio. We haven't created anything yet, but I've been buying IP. And one of these days, I'll turn it on, and every game we build will have a blockchain component to it. And every game I build, I'll deploy that blockchain component on Cardano. So there's already things like next generation digital rights management, having unique items in the game that are connected to tokens. So you could do that's preserving your save state on a blockchain. There's a lot of things to think about there. And actually, Ben Gortzel, we actually talked about this a lot. And my CTO, Roman, he got a PhD in computer science, but his dissertation was in gaming. Our CTO actually came up with Pokemon Go 10 years before Pokemon Go existed. So we have a lot of people that are closet gamers or love game mechanics and these types of things. And I see enormous value to it. And it's actually not hard with what we've constructed to put some of those game components on Cardano as soon as Goguen ships. And then over time, things could be scaled up. It would be super cool to have a partnership with some open source gaming frameworks, like Babylon.js or these types of things, or perhaps even commercial frameworks like Unity, for example, and actually have a cryptocurrency backend for it. So if a game developer wants to do that, that's something that can be pushed through. And these are partnerships we're going to try to pursue in 2021. Our commercial team is chomping at the bit for these types of plays.
So that is awesome to see. They are already working on this. This is already something that they have talked about. That's already something that they have been focusing on over the last couple of years, gaming on Cardano. Now, I will say I have done a full interview with a project that's already on Cardano. It's part of the ecosystem, and they are a gaming platform. They're actually a gambling platform. I'll actually link to that video if you guys want above the video here. So why hasn't Cardano moved since smart contracts? I think we have one major reason for that, and that's because Bitcoin hasn't really moved. Bitcoin has stayed pretty range bound, and Cardano has too. Of course, there was some selling of the event where people actually sold Cardano when the event happened, but overall, we've still seen a lot of support around $2.30 to $2.35, and we're only going to build out from here. I just did a video talking about specifically Bitcoin and how many big news events have happened just here today, right? From startups buying it to Fidelity going to the SEC to talk about a new Bitcoin ETF. I think there's so much going on that the cryptocurrency market is going to expand, and Bitcoin itself is going to do really well, which is going to lend to all these other cryptocurrencies doing quite well. Someone asked me just the other day to compare Cardano versus Ethereum because they were having a hard time understanding the difference with Cardano being $2.42 and Ethereum being $3,500. They were saying, how can we compare these? Because Cardano is 1,000 times less in price. And what you really have to look at is the market cap. So the market cap is the number of tokens outstanding times the price of the actual token. So right now, Cardano is about 5 times less expensive, 5 times smaller market cap than Ethereum. So we could easily see a $5 to $10 Cardano by the end of the year. Now, I did do a video recently on how to retire on Cardano by 2030. I will put that on the end screen so you guys can check it out. If you guys want an interest rate on your Cardano, you can check out the link underneath the video to go to Voyager Digital. That's actually where I hold the majority of my Cardano, and I actually get 5% interest on my Cardano, and it pays me in Cardano. So definitely check that out. You get a bonus too when you use that link underneath the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Let me know if you guys like these videos breaking down everything that's happening on Cardano and everything to come and what we are going to see in the future. Let me know if you guys like this setup. I did a little bit of a different setup here today in this video. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.